Hey crafty family, it's me again. I'm trying to do videos as much as I can, and sorry if there's a gap of 5 or 6 days or however long. Doing the best I can to get some videos up. It's just taken, you know, there's a lot of days where I don't feel up to it. But today I wanted to share this with you. Whoa! Let's knock them all over. Do you see these beautiful little embellishments? I'm not sure if you can. Hopefully you can. Let me try holding one up. We are going to make that today. There is all kinds of funness going on. Lovely colors. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Okay. So what you need to make these is several, you can use one of another different things. You can use glossy cardstock, and you would use the glossy side. You can use regular cardstock as long as you seal it with gloss Mod Podge or gloss Decopage or gloss whatever. Any kind of gloss. You don't want anything matte or anything like that. You want something that's going to be glossy because it shows up better and it'll give that shine. You can use book page, and to make it thicker I glued it onto some cardstock and then went over it with a gloss. I don't know if you could see the gloss, but it's glossy. You can use acetate. Anything. You can use clay tiles. You can use anything. And how you do this is where you're going to go and break out all your old nail polish. That's how we're going to do this. We are going to do a marbling effect with nail polish dripped into water. And I got a little story about this that I want to tell you. Back in the early 90s, and now I'm going to say this because I didn't know anybody else who did this, and when I took this around to people, people were like, holy crap, I've never seen that before. Back in the early 90s, I came up with marbling your nails in the water with nail polish. I was messing around one day and I kept thinking I'd love to get that marbled tie-dyed look because, okay, I had a nail salon lady that did my nails every couple of weeks, did my mom's nails too. And she would do this marbling thing where she would put globs of nail polish on, then take a toothpick and just wiggle it around. But I wanted it to look more authentic. So I remember seeing some show on TV, and this was way before YouTube, and they were showing like different art stuff. It was like a PBS show maybe, I don't know. And they were showing like the ancient water marbling that they did in like Asia or something. I remember that triggered me, and I got my nail polish out and I took a little plastic thing of water and I started doing it, and I noticed that the nail polish was staying on top of the water. So I took a toothpick. It was trial and error for a while to find the right water temperatures and everything, but I did it, and I started doing my nails like that. And I went around to a bunch of salons and I showed the ladies in the salons, and they were all like freaking out. They thought it was the most awesome thing in the world, asking me how did I do that, because every nail was unique, and maybe they all had the same colors that I would put in for each one, but they all came out very unique. And I had really long nails back then, so they looked really cool. So fast forward a couple of years, I was still doing my nails this way. I even taught a couple other people how to do it. I saw this thing on TV about inventions, and if you have an invention, come in and blah, blah, blah. So me and Chris at the time, we had just gotten together as boyfriend and girlfriend. We had known each other for years from high school, but it wasn't until in our early 20s or somewhere around our 20s, mid 20s, I guess, like 24, 25, that we got together. And I was still living at my mom's, and he would come up to visit me on the weekends, because at that point I had went back up north and he was still at his parents down South Jersey. I was in North Jersey. Well, he would come up on the weekends, drive 2 hours, come up to visit me. And I said to him, you know, I have an appointment to go see this guy at this invention thing, because I had called them and they said, oh yes, come in and everything. So I sat, and you know how you could take the nail, like the acrylic nail, before you put it on your finger, and like glue it to a toothpick or something, and like as sometimes you'll see them in salons as example pieces. Well, that's what I did. I made a whole set of example pieces, all different colors, probably did 40 of them. And I brought them in to show them, and I explained to them how I did it, and they were like, oh, well, you'd have to have, what we would do is put together a kit that would have, you know, everything you'd need to do it, yada, yada, yada. And then they told me how much it would cost, and I had to pay for it. They said it would be around $4,000. Now, keep in mind, I'm in my 20s. I don't have no money. So I was just like, oh, well, forget it. So fast forward, like, I don't know, 15 years. Never, you know, I still did my nails that way, you know, nothing ever came of it for me. But eventually I saw that, what's the name of that? China Glaze, is it? Is that the name of the company? I think it was, because I have some of their nail polish in here. There's one, I think it was China Glaze. Yeah, it was. China Glaze nail polish. Or, no, maybe it was the other one. Not China Glaze. Oh, crap, I can't remember. It might be China Glaze. It was one of those. Anyway, I was watching a video online, and they have a kit that they came out with. It looks awfully same like the kit that the guy was sitting there drawing up my kit. So I don't know if they had like a statute of limitations that they could take that idea and give it, you know, run with it themselves, get a nail polish company on board. I don't know. Maybe they came up with it themselves. Who knows? But I just thought it was awfully familiar, because everything in this little kit that they sold you on this website was the exact same stuff that they were coming up with. There was like 5 different nail polish colors you get in the kit. You get this little special bowl, and you get like this special stick and all this stuff. It was like all exact. But anyway, that's just my story about that, because it's funny and it's crazy, and who knows if I actually had money, or if I knew better to go to somebody else or go to a nail company, and I could have put my name on it through them, and it probably would have gotten paid for. Who knows, I could have been rich, but whatever. That's my stupid story where, you know, somebody always has a story where, oh, I invented that. This, honestly, I did invent this because, well, as far as I know, nobody else was doing it. I mean, you never heard of it, because you would figure back then, since there was no internet or YouTube. Well, I mean, I guess there was internet because it was just starting out. I think there was like AOL and Web TV or something, but there wasn't YouTube. There wasn't really anything spread around that way. But I guess back then, if there was an idea like that, because I know that once I started doing it and I showed it to a nail lady, she like spread it around so other people, you know, so I guess like, you know, it was spread around. Well, not really, just her and her friend would do it. But still, like, you know how ideas get spread around? And I would figure if there was an idea like that prior to, it would have been spread around to, like, the various nail places, and it would have been a known thing. So that's why I think I actually came up with it. But whatever. I mean, I didn't come up with the idea of marbleizing with paint, because obviously, but with nail polish I did. Or as far as I'm concerned, I did. But anywho, done with my long, boring story. And now we are going to make some of our own. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pick out like 4 or 5 nail colors. Let me move stuff out the way, because I got a big mess up here. Got my candle lighting things going on. Okay, so you're going to pick out some colors. You want to have at least 1 glitter color. Let me see, is this one any good? Some of these nail polishes I haven't checked. Yeah, this will do. You want to have at least 1, you know, glitter, so you can get 2 of them out, but you're going to use only 1 at a time. This one has glitter in it. I mean, it's okay if some of them have glitter, but you know the ones that are just pure glitter, you're going to want 1 or 2 of those. Then you're going to want a lot of regular just colors. They can be shimmery, whatever you want. I'm just going to grab a bunch. You want to make sure they're all pre-mixed. You don't want to be fussing with this when you are dropping it into the water and all that stuff. You don't want to be messing with having to shake your nail polish. Where's that other pink at that I had? I had like a hot pink. Here it is. I'm just grabbing whatever. A bunch. You don't want to use nail polish that says quick dry. That's a no-no. You don't want that. Whatever. Okay, so I grabbed a bunch. Sorry for the noise. You really don't need any more than like 5 or 6, I guess. Then what you're going to want to do is get yourself a plastic bowl, a cheap plastic bowl, one that you don't care to ever use again for anything other than what you're going to do. You are not going to want to use this on anything after this. Look, you can already see how dirty mine is, and that's okay. You're going to also need nail polish remover. Now, this is the thing that the kits that they sell don't tell you. This is my invention, and you don't see this part anywhere. And there's a reason I do this, and they don't know this. This is my secret. If you use 1/2 to 3/4 nail polish remover and the rest water, so like either 1/2 and 1/2 or 3/4 nail polish remover and 1/4 water, if you use that, it won't dry up as fast. If you just use regular water, the nail polish, you would have to move so fast that you don't get as good of a marble. If you use nail polish remover, you get a better marble, or acetone. Acetone works good too, but you got to be careful of acetone in plastic containers, or even nail polish remover. But acetone's like a heavy duty, basically, so you don't want to use that. And you don't want to leave this in the bowl for days and days and days and days. It will eat away at the plastic because it's got nail polish remover in it. So you're going to dump this out and redo it. You can leave it in there for like a day, but I wouldn't do any further than that. But that's the secret. You put nail polish remover in it, and if it still seems like it's drying up, add more nail polish remover, because it'll help. It's always going to have a film, and you're always going to get like this film on the top that's going to dry up a little bit. But with the nail polish remover, you don't get that as bad. And then you're going to want a top coat. I have this glittery top coat with stars in it, which is why some of the ones that I made, let me see. Let's see if you could see any of the stars. You see the 2 little stars right there? Does that even show up? That's from that glitter nail polish. So let's see. Okay, so what you're going to do is, remember I told you that you're going to need either glossy cardstock or cardstock that you put glossy Mod Podge on. So after you do that, you take your punches. You can use whatever punch you want. You can use bigger ones, as long as your container can hold them, and you can get in, as long as your liquid is deep enough for you to get down in there. I'm just using like 1 inch because to me that's good. You can also do, like I said, I think I said, clay tiles. Like you can make little tiles with clay and use this on them. I don't have any, so I'm not gonna do that. So, and then you're gonna need a pair of tweezers that can grip a piece of paper. You know how sometimes the tweezers just suck, because you're gonna want to grip it right at the corner, and that's how you're gonna dip it in. You're going to want to keep a baby wipe handy and a rag handy. And I keep these on my lap. And then you're going to want a spot to put your done things so they can dry. Okay, got all that? So now, you're going to start with like 4 or 5 colors. And you're just going to loosen the cap. You're just going to do 1 little turn. You don't want to take the caps off because you're going to dump it all over. So you just want to shake it real good. loosen it so that it only takes one little spin for you to get it off, because you want to work quickly. And you want to make sure that you have at least, I'm going to use this one, at least one glitter. I mean, if you don't like glitter, you don't have to use glitter. So just loosey goosey. And then I'm going to use this mint kind of greenish color. I'm just going to use 4 colors right now. So I've got the rest of mine back there. These are the ones I'm going to actively use right now. Okay, here's what you do. You want to keep everything at your ready. You want to keep all your cardstock ready, your shiny cardstock, your shiny paper, whatever. You're going to take and you're going to drip the nail polish, and usually the first 1 or 2 they'll spread. Sometimes they'll stick to the bottom if you have 2, but see how now they're spreading? The first couple of them that you do will spread, usually. Why do I always do that? I don't want to dump it completely, or tighten it completely. And then they'll start to sit in these little puddles. Or they'll sink to the bottom. If they're too heavy, they'll sink to the bottom, which is fine. Don't worry about it. Most of the time, they'll sit right on top. I just dumped my hands in it. Don't wear long sleeves. You're going to want to work quickly and just put in, you could put it into the middle of them, or just whatever. Oh, did I say that you wanted room temperature water? You want room temperature. Whoa! And I might have just ruined that. Sorry, I'm trying to do things fast so that I get a good thing out of this. Okay. Now you want to take a toothpick, and I'm going to try to bring the colors in. And you're just going to do the best you can to kind of spread through. You might not get nothing decent. There you go. If you don't, I'll show you how to fix that. Now you want to go in where you can get a good pattern, and you want to go all the way under the water, come over to the side and lift it up. Okay, you don't want to keep going through, and you can get several things out of this. And this is why I say to use the nail polish remover in here. The other companies do not tell you that because they're stupid, because I'm the original person. I know what I'm doing. Because this would have dried up by now, and they would have only gotten their nails through it once, and they would have had to redo it. Whereas I can do 3, 4, 5, go back in, get more passes, and that's all because I'm using nail polish remover. It keeps it allowing you to do this. Otherwise, if you tried to do this without nail polish remover, you'll get, like I'm getting a little bit of skin on the side where it'll hang off. Just kind of wipe that off. Look, I'm getting 5 out of this because of the nail polish remover. I should have shown you what it looks like when you don't use the nail polish. See, now I'm getting a skin. See, now I'm finally getting that skin. You can see hanging off of there. That's why you want to paper down, but that's okay. Okay, and if you do not have enough nail polish remover and you put your thing in and you get like this massive, like, it'll be like cotton candy where you start getting a little bit and it just keeps coming and coming. Take a baby wipe or a tissue. It doesn't have to be wet. Dry is fine. And just go in and scrape that skin. You're going to want to do this after you're done messing around anyway. Don't worry about what's on the bottom. But you're going to go in, you're going to scrape off that skin so it's clean. You're going to want to clean this off a little bit. Just kind of run it along the side. And if it gets dirty, get a new one. Okay, so there's our first 5. And you want to just try not to let it have any skins hanging off of it. If it does, pull them off. I just put my finger in it. Fabulous. You're going to get your hands messy, so wear gloves. But there's, excuse me, the first 5. I got the hiccups. There's the first 5. They came out great. I love them. See how interesting and different they all come out? Some of them come out with just a little bit. Some come out with a lot. Let me get my sleeve out of the way this time. Because I know likey. My sleeve getting in the way. So I'm going to start, see they're sinking in the bottom because I'm getting, whoop, that one came back up. Check that out. That was pretty neat. See, the first couple will like really spread. because it's putting a film across the water, and then the rest of them will just sit there right on top of that film. It's interesting how that works. And they won't spread as much like that. It'll just do that. I didn't have this one ready, but that's okay. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. And they'll usually stay in one little area. The glitter's a little bit harder to work with. The glitter kind of hardens a little more. It's not as fluid as the others. See, I worked faster that time, so I'm getting a better, and you don't want to go too much. You just want to go until it looks good, and then say, that's it, and go in. Now, I may not get as many because this is a close, so I'm going to take from over here first, and you'll figure it out. Look how beautiful that one came out. Holy crap, that one's really pretty. And then you're going to want to wipe your tweezers off real quick on the thing on your lap. Yep, you know what I mean. Your towel, getting some goops. You start to get goops after the first one, which is fine. Just keep going. You can get several of them. And you want to kind of go down. See, look, there's a goop. Did you see that? That's fine. Just let it hang off and go. I bet you I can get one more. I'll use this round one. I'll even take this goop over here. I don't care, because it'll just give it some dimension. I don't mind. See, look, that's the goop. When it starts to get like that, you know you're done. Like that one's got way like too many globs on it, but I don't care. Whatever. That's when you know you're done. And then you go in and you wipe it off. You wipe off the water. And if your tweezers get too goopy, use some nail polish remover on a rag and clean it off. My favorite one out of this is this one. It's a little bent, but you fix it when you're done. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. That's badass. Now, I'm also going to use book pages that I backed on cardstock and put shiny because I want to see how the book pages come out. You know, I should have thought about doing this a long time ago for embellishments, but I don't know why I just didn't think of it. Let's do some light pinks and dark pinks. The first couple is going to spread. See, it goes whoosh. It's harder to see on camera than to see what I'm doing. And once it spreads and you get a good film, it ain't gonna do all that. It's gonna stay in place. And you want to keep them in one place. You don't want them to be too spread apart. Unless you're fast enough to do something really big. See, that one broke off and spread apart. I'm going to try to sneak one more in there. Don't know if I'll get it before it starts to get a skin on it. Okay, that's it. So you don't want to push your luck. You don't want to go through all that just to waste your time. See, like, this has already got a skin. Like, it's, look, the whole thing is moving. Can you see that? That's that skin. You want to stay to where the nail polish isn't on that, like, isn't in that skinned area. See, like, I waited too long. I got too greedy. I'm going to get, like, a glob, you'll see. Not a glob, but I'm gonna get, like, kind of a blobby look, and I might only get one out of this whole thing. Yeah, it's kind of blobby, but it still looks cool. I can go back in with it a little bit. That's kind of risky when you do that. You got to be careful. There we go. I got one because like I was taking too long. I was taking too long. I bet you I can take this one and get that little bit of glitter. So you can kind of go back in and sneak. But see all this? I want to show you what I say about cotton candy. Watch. I don't know if you could see this. I don't know if you can see that film, but watch. See what I mean? It's like cotton candy. It's all there. I don't even have to take the rag. That's what happens when it dries up. And I might add just a little bit more nail polish remover because of me soaking it all off with my rag every time I put it in there to clean up the blobs. And that nail polish on the bottom is wet, so you can take it with your finger and spread it. And like, here's a blob, look. And watch. It's still wet, it's just sitting in there in globular form. Okay. Now let's do a couple of big ones. And hopefully this time I won't get greedy. First couple spread. And that's what's going to create that film that could dry up. So you want to, I don't know how to avoid that exactly. So I would say no more than 4 colors. Probably best bet to stay with like 3 colors. Come on, jackass. Huh, I left a splatter on top of the water. Okay. I don't know why I keep grabbing a new toothpick. These are bigger, so it's going to take up just about the whole thing. Look at that. Very cool. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I'm putting it in the water. Just so you get an idea of the rhythm of how I'm dipping this in the water. I'm going to do it this way so you can see. Yeah. So you can see. I'm going to pretend that I'm putting it on the white side so that you can see this part. When I dip it into the water, I put it down, I twist it all the way down. Let's say this is my fingers are the surface of the water. Okay? I put it down, I scrape it along as I go down. And then I pull it up away from the paint, away from the nail polish, over on a clean area. That's where I pull it up. I don't pull it up back through the nail polish because then you're just going to get massive globs of ugliness. So you go down, as you go down under the water, you kind of go at an angle, like as if you were going downstairs, so that the paint goes doop 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 doop. Hold on. So it's as if you it goes into the water as if you're going downstairs. You go like this, and you kind of go on an angle. You go at an angle under the water, and you come up at a clear area because that just works better. That's just how you do it. See, now I'm getting another cotton candy, and this is how you can clean it out as well. If you wait a few minutes longer, you can clean it out by just taking your toothpick and making, you can even sit here and let it dry a minute and then form it, and then you can just keep it and have some weird looking toothpick thing, which I have no idea what you would do with that, but hey, come up with an idea, right? Let's do a couple more, and I will get some of the smaller ones since I can usually get 2 or 3 of those out of one. Usually the best way to do it is, since the glitter globulates more, put that on last. Like, put that on right before you're about to spread everything around in with your toothpick, because the glitter seems to like just globulate more. Like, now I'm going to put the glitter in. This one's going to give a really cool marbled effect, which actually I'd like to do it on this big one to show you. I don't know if you could see it, but like where you could see through the pink. Let me grab a little one. Wipe off the tweezers. Grab it by the edge, because there's a spot right there. That sparkly spot that I wanted. And it's cool on the book pages because you could see through it. Now I've still got some areas to get. And where it looks like the nail polish is very faint, it'll give you a faint, like you can see the purple. That was very faint in the water, but when you get it up against the background, it's not so faint. It just appears like there's nothing left on here but the pink. But even just a couple stripes is really cool. And I somehow got some green on there. So, and then it's still not ready yet, but if you give it a few seconds, it'll dry, and then you could do that. I call it the cotton candy thing. I've always called it that. It always fascinated me. Yeah, I'm able to get it now. I used to always call it cotton candy. That's how you clean your water. Okay, I only have I have 4 more toothpicks. I have more, I just don't have them out. Okay, I've got 3 here. Let's do some more, shall we? This is so much fun. I love doing this. I always like doing it for nails, but to sit here and be able to do it for embellishments, because I don't have long nails right now, and it's hard for me to craft with long nails. So it's kind of cool that I can do the technique that I perfected for so long. And come on, this one's very globby. It's not useful to me. I mean, I spent a lot of time perfecting this. See, that happened to spread out a lot. Normally doesn't do that as much. Certain nail polishes will act different. You'll notice. Certain nail polishes, and the thinner the nail polish, the better. So if you have to put a little bit of nail polish remover into your nail polish to thin it out, then absolutely go for it, because it'll work better, which I didn't do that beforehand. Now we're going to get some super awesome marbling. If I had a big enough embellishment to take care of this, that would be cool. But I don't. Where are my tweezers? Hurry up. Oh my god. These are the wrong ones. There they are. Because I don't want to lose out on this awesomeness that I've got going on. Ooh. See, I'm really good at this, so I'm pretty quick at it. And I know how to get like the right pattern and put it where. And if you do it a few times, you don't want to cover the whole thing, and you don't want your goal to be to keep dipping it back in, because then you'll end up with a mess every time. If you get really good at it, you will learn how to be able to dip it back in again a second time and know where to go. Like right now, I'm after certain parts, and I know how to get it where I want it. And you get in, and with some practice, you'll definitely get there. It's not quite ready yet, but I'm trying to get cotton candy. Come on. You don't get it as well as if you wait a few minutes. Like if you wait like 30 seconds, you get better cotton candy. Doing that to spread the rest of it over to the side, since I didn't get a very good blob. But anyway, I'm going to stop with that so that we can move on to the next step, because I made a bunch here. Oh, I do have 3 more. Wait, let me do these last 3. I have 3 little ones over here. I didn't even see them. Okay, settle down. You want your water to kind of be settled down too. I know I'm doing a lot of pinks and purples, but that's the colors I like. You know that. You do whatever color you want. Black and white look really awesome. I used to do black and white marbled nails, and they were some of my favorite to do because they looked badass. So if you do black and white, oh man, it's awesome looking. Seriously. It's freaking awesome. So you definitely want to try that. Maybe I'll try that next time I do it. Yeah, I'm just like dripping a whole bunch of drops. Crap, I didn't realize that was so tight. Sometimes giving it a little shake gives you these little wigglies, little splatters. This one's nice and loosey-goosey. Nice and thin. Now, there's a lot of sparkle in here, so I'm going to have a little bit of a hard time spreading it, so I'm not going to try to spread it too much. Because it's a sparkle, you gotta be a little careful sometimes. Look at that ball of... I'm not going to keep looking at it because I'm going to screw up. I'll get it later. Oh, that one came out awesome. Awesome. I always go for the outside first and then work my way in, because then you get... See, that one didn't come out as good. Dang it! Let's see, is there any on here that can use some more? Yep, this one can. But yeah, like I said, you got to be careful because that got globby, see? And then I just dumped it on there. Hold on. Let's wipe it off. There we go. There we go. Not so bad. If it's still wet, you can kind of wipe it off if you have an old rag. Okay. Now I'm going to give that a second and do cotton candy, because that's like one of my favorite things to do. Look at this. This was a glob, but it kind of opened up. I was gonna pick it up with my fingers. Ooh, here's the pink one. It's stuck on the bottom. Oh, here it go. Cotton candy. This is gonna be a big one. A big cotton candy. Are you hungry? You want some cotton candy? Okay, we're done. Now, I'm not going to leave this overnight or anything. I guess it would be fine in some plastics, you know, because I know their special bottles they keep it in is good, but I don't know how a Tupperware would do, because like I said, nail polish remover had a tendency to eat through plastic, so I probably won't leave it in here overnight. Okay. Now, once you get all your pretties done, you're going to let them dry. You're going to make sure that they're dry, just like you would your nails. You're going to let them dry. So what I'm going to do is shut off the camera. We're going to let these dry, and then I'm going to come back when they're dry and show you what else to do. Not that it's very much, but I'd rather show you than tell you. Okay, I'll be back. I'm a total dingbat. I'm going to move these aside to dry. You know what I forgot to show you? I forgot to show you us doing it on the acetate. So I'm going to bring this back. I wanted to do the acetate. And, you know, I'm a dingbat. So I'm going to cut some shapes. And I better close this while I cut shapes, because I seem to have a habit of making them fly all over the place. So I'm going to do this punch here. I'm going to punch out. It's going to be hard for you to see until they're painted. But these would make some really cute embellishments. So I'll just do 6. Can you see them on there? That's the acetate. And get my tweezers back out here. Now we can open this and have a good old time. I have a couple of sticks. I put these where I can grab them easily. So I'm putting them off the edge. You probably can't see. Okay. So now we're going to undo the paint again, or the nail polish. And I got black. I grabbed the black, because black is fun. I think it's black anyway. It's Wet n Wild. It's like 20 years old. It's like the oldest paint I own, probably. Or nail polish. I keep saying paint. But it's nail polish. Alright, we're going to start with the black, because why the hell not? Ooh, it turns like purple. I had a better black that I used to use that was like actually black. But this one, look at it, turn purple, but that's the spreading. That's the one that's going to spread. Ooh, these are all spreading. Good Lord. There they go. Now they're starting to stick, so I'll put this back in. Now that it's starting to stick. There we go. It's starting to stay put a little bit. We'll put some, since this black looks purple. It might be purple, I don't know. It might just be me that didn't realize. I'm putting too many, I'm going to lose all of this. I know it. Getting greedy. But I really like the way this all kind of came about. There's a lot of pink space. I'm going to try to, can't really bring that purple in. Well, it does look black when it's not spread out. Alright, tweezers, acetate. I pulled that out the wrong way, kind of. I feel like I'm going backwards. There we go. Give to me. I should have it this way, it's be easier for me. That got a little globby, but that's okay. Whoa, the acetate likes to stick right to the paper. Gotta be careful of that if you're going to use acetate. Move it around a little bit. Dang. Dang! Don't forget to clean off your tweezers every now and again. One more. Let's get one more good one. Good deal. Oh, I got this over here. I forgot I had those over there. I forgot that they were sitting over there. Oh, they were starting to get cotton candy. When you start getting cotton candy, as you're taking them out of the water, that's when they start to get no good. But I don't care. Get off the gloppies. I don't care. Ooh, that one kind of looks cool. Alright, that's all I'm going to be able to get out of there. We got cotton candy. Or at least mostly cotton candy. You could always pour this into a glass. I just realized that. I have a mason jar I can pour this into and it will last me forever. Well, you know, it'll last you. So you don't have to throw it away. Put it into a mason jar and then every time you use it, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we've got a bunch more, which the acetate ones, you're going to want to peel them off and not let them dry in that one spot. Whoa, that just hopped. Trying not to touch it on the top. I don't care about the bottom. Crap. Come on, jackass. Acetate's hard. 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I missing an acetate one? 5. Oh, 6. There it is. Ooh, scared me a minute. Okay, Now I'm going to let them dry and I'll be back. Bye. Okay, so I let them dry for about an hour. And with the ones that have like the globbies, a little bit of more globbies, you're going to let them dry a little longer, because the ones with the globbies, like the thicker, I say globbies, that's what I call them. The gloppy kind of thickness, texture on them, whatever you want to call it. Like this one in particular. That one's still a little damp, but I dried the gloppy ones with a heat gun, which I don't recommend doing, because you have to hold them with tweezers, and wherever you hold them with tweezers, it's going to get a little messed up. So don't do that. Like here's an example. This one's kind of gloppy, so see that little spot right there? It kind of peeled up, and that's what you don't want. So be patient, unlike me, who was trying to do this so I can keep filming the video. But here's all of them that we did. All the acetate ones are right here, and then these are the smaller ones and these are the bigger ones. I think they came out so wicked cool. I love them so much. They're really cool. And if you want them to be even more sturdy from the beginning, when you would, you know, if you don't have shiny cardstock, and even if you do, if only one side is shiny, turn it over and do Mod Podge, glossy Mod Podge on the back, because this way you can have a little bit more sturdy, because the back isn't, or you could do it afterwards if you really want to. Or you can take it, like I put the book page on cardstock, but you could do it on chipboard too. So you can always do it on chipboard. You can just, like, if you have like the brown chipboard type of stuff, you can gesso it and then put the Mod Podge over it, or paint it white with a glossy white paint will work. You can do this on so many things, not just paper. This is just the beginning of what you can do. So if you have little metal embellishments, you don't have to do anything to prepare them. Just dip them in your paint or in your nail polish. I'm going to keep saying paint. I don't mean paint. I mean nail polish. Any small thing, because obviously you don't want anything too big, because the depth of your water is going to be how far you can get it in, plus your container, you know what I mean? And you can also do paper. You can do paper. I've done that before, where you take a small piece of paper and put it straight down. It's a little finicky. It's a little hard to deal with, but you can do it. You can do little pieces of paper. It's easier to do littler things like this, like no bigger than this. It's a little easier to control, and you get the best results. But you can do this on glass beads. If you have clear glass beads, you can also do this. You would stick the bead onto a wire, and like actually take a piece of wire and like hold the two ends of the wire so it's sitting down there, and kind of twist it, but not so tight. You know what I mean? You can figure it out and dip it in. Just play around with things. Find different things that you want to use. Pieces of wood. Take some clear Mod Podge, put it on there, and dip away. Actually, you probably wouldn't even need clear Mod Podge on it. However, anywhere where the nail polish doesn't get on it when you're dipping is going to be very matte looking, and the rest of it's going to be nice and shiny, so you might want to put the Mod Podge on it. So anyway, we've got these done, and after they're done, you could do several things. You can take a chunky glitter like this that has little stars in it, or, you know, something like that, and you can cover it with that. And then if you want added shine over that, take a top coat and go over it. Or you can just do a top coat. Or you can use any kind of glaze, or even just, you can use the glossy Mod Podge, but I don't feel that that's glossy enough. You can use Sculpey glass glaze. I love this stuff. You can use a varnish. I wouldn't recommend a spray varnish, because as soon as you go to spray, they're all going to fly all over the place. Any kind of brush-on varnish that you can think of. The best thing, though, is nail polish. You know, top coat. That's the best thing. So, like, let's say on this one, it's got plenty of glitter, so I don't want to add any more glitter. I would just go over it like you would your nails. And actually, it's better if you hold it by the sides. And just put a good old sloppy coat of top coat and let it dry. I'll do that to any of the ones that are super glittery that I don't want to glitter with the glitter, because I like putting that glitter the glitter on first on some of them that don't have any glitter. And that happens all the time too. Let's see. That's glittery. And you just do that like you were doing your nails. You know, just like you would put a top coat on. You just want to make sure they're dry because it makes it a big difference if they're dry. Putting the top coat over it, it doesn't spread the, like if you put it, it's not like regular nails where you can put a coat on and then put another coat on. Because you have used different colors and they're swirled together, if you try to put a top coat on without it being dry, it could mess up your design. And also, because you're using a lot of water with nail polish remover in it to get the design, for some reason, if you don't let it dry completely, so that the nail polish remover, which is similar to alcohol, it dries quickly, it evaporates quickly. So you definitely want to make sure they're dry, because otherwise you can end up moving around the nail polish, and you don't want to do that. So that's why it's good that it's like pretty much super dry. But yeah, I love doing this. Love it, love it, love it. I've been thinking about doing this forever. Actually, before I got sick, I thought about it. And then I forgot about it. But for all these years I've been crafting, I don't know why I never thought about doing this. And then with the acetate ones, I would also coat them. I can't feel what side it's painted on, because a couple of them flipped over at one point, but oh well, you can do both sides. You definitely don't want to use a matte finish on these, because it will completely take away, it will take away from the shine and the glitter. You know what I mean? Alright, those are all the ones that I want to do without the glitter. So now I'm going to do some with this. Yeah, my top came. Don't you hate when that happens, when the thing strips? And I can use some E6000 to fix it, but it's really not a big deal. It's sometimes hard to get the stars out because you got to get them on your brush. There we go, I got one. It's a pain in the butt to get the stars, but I like to get at least one star on each one, if not more. The acetate is hard because it's flimsy. I was going to say floppy. My sleeves, man, they're driving me nuts. Nuts, I tell you, nuts. Ooh, I got a star. Sweet. Can I get another, please? I did. That's shocking. Where'd it go? Oh. This stuff's awfully thick. I'm going to have to thin that out too. Yeah, that's my nail polish that I've been using, all that box of nail polish. That's the nail polish that I don't really use anymore. I have about 6 boxes of nail polish, probably 300 bottles of nail polish. I have a lot of nail polish. Well, don't forget, I went to school for this to do hair and nails, so I was a nail polish junkie. Alright, I'll do the rest of these off camera. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you'll get out there and make yourself some cute little embellishments that are awesome. And I love them on the book pages because you could see the text behind them and they're just badass. They're just badass. I love them very much. They're so awesome. Even the ones that were a little bit messy are still awesome sauce. Stars. put them on there so that they can get sealed in. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I didn't leave anything out. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you can help out with my GoFundMe, you can either PayPal me money at pinkpoodlecrafts@gmail.com or use my GoFundMe, which is below. My email will be below as well, my PayPal email, because some people had said they wanted me to put my PayPal and it's easier for them, and that's fine. But yeah, anything will help right now. I really appreciate it. The money that was already donated to me, I paid a couple of bills with, which is great. But it's pretty much gone at this point because, you know, I paid bills. And you know how it goes when you pay bills. Just take your money. Goodbye. So, yeah. And let's see. Yeah, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure, oh, you know what I wanted to tell you? Next to the subscribe button, you know, on my video page, on my YouTube page, where it says subscribe, and you're already subscribed, I'm assuming. Hopefully you are. There's a little bell. If you want to get emails to remind you of when my videos go up, click that little bell. YouTube has gone and made it more difficult because now it's not good enough just to subscribe to somebody. Now you've got to click the little bell. So stupid, I know. So go ahead and click that bell so that you will get notifications of my videos, and make sure you're subscribed. Give my video a thumbs up, and share it, please. If you would, share it somewhere on your Facebook, your Twitter, in your Facebook groups, anywhere. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Make sure you do what you love and love what you do. Be nice to people. And if you do this project, go to my Facebook page, which is Pink Poodle Crafts. I had another page called Pink Poodle Jewelry and Crafts. I don't use it anymore. I only use the Pink Poodle Crafts. So if you look up Pink Poodle and it just says crafts, no jewelry, that's the right one. Post your pictures of your nail polish marbled embellishments. I would love, love, love to see them. Totally would love to see them. And what kind of ideas you came up with to marble with the nail polish. So anyway, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye.